Sophie stood as the train gang pulled her along, deeper into the royal castle. The young pirate named Virgo, with the tattoos around his eyes, leading them on foot. The other pirates had remained outside the castle on their horses, sneering down the crew as they shambled through the open doors like dead men walking to the gallows. Sophie watched the boys deliver each kid a demeaning kick in the bum. Hester, Annabelle, Dot, Hot, Borden, William. But when it came Sophie's turn, Sunburnt wisely simply smirked and gave her a frightening little hiss. Which made it all the more foolish that, with the snake moments away, Sophie was offended by flowers. But it wasn't really the hydrangeas that were bothering her, though she did hate everything about this castle. Its birthday cake colors, its coloring, candy cane scenes, its transitory portraits of the royal children frolicking with dogs, and its endless loop of music, playing John Jolie's annoyingly catchy anthem throughout the walls. Tipple top, joy and jaunt, come and be jolly. No, the real reason Sophie was annoyed was because she had just saved everyone's noses in the pavilion with her brave performance, and no one seemed to care, especially Agatha and Nicola, who kept whispering to each other like Flopsy and Mopsy. Sophie couldn't fault Agatha for having another friend. Aggie was perfectly free to consult with whoever she pleased, including a first-year reader with a bad attitude. So why, then, did Sophie feel so upset? She had been so distracted by her reunion with Agatha and all the action of their new quest that she hadn't noticed a creeping emptiness returning, the same emptiness that had made her impatient with her students at school, increasingly bored with her dean's duties, and eager to cop Camelot's topless for sordid rumors about its new king. And yet, Sophie hadn't been able to put a finger on why she felt this way. She was happy being dean, wasn't she? That was the ever after she had worked so hard to find, and at the end of this quest, she'd go right back to it, just like Agatha would go back to a wedding and a crown. Yet, unlike Agatha, Sophie would have no one by her side. Well, at least not the way that Agatha had tattoos. But that was fine with her, truly. She might flirt with delectable boys at parties and ogle a few of her own sultry boys during school assemblies, but she had learned her lesson with tattoos and waffle. No boy could ever really understand her. She was too strong and empowered and complicated. Boys always wanted her to change, and she didn't want to change. Not when she had finally figured herself out. should be far better off staying out of that swamp for a long, long time. No, the only person Sophie needed was Agatha. Agatha understood her. Agatha balanced her. Agatha didn't expect her to change, which is why Sophie had been so happy these past few years with her best friend back in her life. But seeing Agatha confide in this Nicola girl the way Agatha had once confided in her made Sophie realize how fragile this happiness was. It was ironic, really. Agatha would have been happy living in Gaveston forever with Sophie. But it was Sophie who had been determined to live and find her own life. Now it was Agatha who had her own life. A life that didn't depend on Sophie anymore. She heard Nicola whisper her name and Sophie promptly goosed at Agatha with her knee. "Are you two talking about me?" Agatha squawked. "We are talking about our plan to fight the snake." "So now I'm not good enough to help you plan." "I'll tell you the plan if you're quiet," Nicola said. "See how she talks to me," Sophie mirrored to Agatha. "Because you're acting like a mobstick," Agatha scolded. "You ungrateful Brutus. No one word about how clever I was out here defusing those foul men. Not one word of appreciation." "Sorry, we've been busy planning how not to die." "I remember when instead of gossiping about me with first years, it was me and you who made plans." "You are the plan, you idiot." "What?" Sophie blurted loudly. The train yanked to a halt. Slowly, the two girls looked up to see three glowing daggers at them from the head of the line. Dark silence fell over the hall, punctured by gay sounds of singing. Tip-o-top, joy and jaunt. The pirate stamped his sword into a flooded wall, and the music squatted and petered out. He gave the girls a last growl of warning, and the death march resumed. Agatha and Nicola stared Sophie down. Sophie reddened. If she was indeed the team's plan to fight the snake, now she'll have to do it without knowing what the plan was. Steeling herself, she followed the line into Royal Keep, the King and Queen's private residence, as evidenced by the preponderance of children's bedrooms, cozy sitting rooms, and opulent bathrooms. Sophie peered in, unnerved by an unmade bed, an open wine bottle in one of the sitting rooms, a wooden toothbrush askew by the sink. Signs of life, but no one living here.